Good morning, all of you. In today's class, we will discuss about protein extraction and DNA isolation, two demo classes. So, diagram should be drawn on left side of in white page of record. Okay. So, first we will discuss the first demo class protein extraction with the competency number BI 11.16 and BI 11.19. So, the protein extraction, this the process by which the proteins from the cells are recovered from the analysis purpose is called as protein extraction. So, we will take the protein from different isolated cells. So, protein extraction depend on the site of protein of interest. So, protein may be intracellular or extracellular proteins, or in proteins in serum, that is extracellular, which directly taken up by the purification. Whereas cytosolic proteins, we will collect our purification done by the first we will go for osmotic lysis, use of organic solvents, cycles of freezing and thawing, grinding with sand, alumina or beads, or use of homogenizers or sonicators. So these are the physical methods we use to rupture the cell wall and take the proteins which is present in the cytosol of the cell. Membrane bound proteins by using chemical methods like butanol and detergent solutions, and also subcellular organelle proteins along with membrane proteins and cytosolic proteins. So why protein extraction required means to purify a protein in order to identify the gene that encodes it and to resolve the proteins by the SDS phase electrophoresis and to assay an enzyme in a crude extract of physiological studies and to study the mechanism of action of an enzyme and to detect the parasitic diseases and to compare different structural proteins of different organisms. So these are the usual causes for used to extract the protein. So purification of protein is based on solubility, ionic charge, molecular size, binding specificity and polarity. So based on solubility, using salting out method, whether the protein is soluble in water or insoluble, and degree of solubility, based on that we use the salting out methods, and ionic charges. So based on ionic charges which is present on the side chain of amino acid which is present in the protein, we use the ion exchange chromatographies, electrophoresis, isoelectrical focusing. Whereas in molecular size, based on molecular size, we use dialysis and gel filtration chromatography and ultracentrifugations. So based on these, we will separate the proteins based on their molecular size. And come to the binding specificity, we use the affinity chromatography. Based on polarity, we use reverse phase chromatography, paper chromatography, adsorption chromatography, hydrophobic interactions chromatography. Okay, these are the general usual methods we use to separate the proteins based on their properties. So come to the first salt fractionation. So proteins are solubility depends on concentration of salt in the solution. Like albumins are water soluble, whereas globulins are not much water soluble. So globulins are soluble in weak salt solutions like 0.1 mole per liter. So this phenomena is called as salting in. So this is due to the electrostatic attraction between the salt ions and charge groups on the proteins, which decrease the intramolecular electrostatic attraction of the proteins and increase the interaction of proteins with water. That will make the protein soluble in water. Whereas when salt concentration increased, Salt ion competes for water and remove the shell of hydrogen around the proteins and make them water insoluble and make them precipitate. So this is called as salting out. So usually ammonium sulfate used for separating or salting out the proteins. So globulins are precipitated by off saturation with ammonium sulfate, whereas albumin precipitated by full saturation of with ammonium sulfate, whereas fibrinogenol precipitated by 1/5 saturation with ammonium sulfate. Come to the differential centrifugation based on molecular size or molecular sieving. So a typical crude broken cell preparation contain disrupted cell membranes along with cell organelles and large number of soluble proteins all dispersed in aqueous medium like buffer solution. So the membranes and organelles can be separated from the soluble proteins by using differential centrifugation. Here you can see, so first the crude of containing tissue homogeneous containing crude cells with all membrane and organelles and proteins. So when we centrifuge at low speed, that is 1000 G per 10 minutes, it will separate the containing supernatant and pellet. See, in pellet containing whole cells like and nuclei and cytoskeletons and plasma membrane, whereas supernatant containing mitochondria, lysosomes and peroxisomes. So in supernatant again subjected to medium speed centrifugation, then at the 20,000 G per 20 minutes. So in supernatant, what are there in mitochondria and lysosomes and peroxisomes, those are again at the 20,000 G per 20 minutes they are precipitated. So pellet containing mitochondria, lysosomes and peroxisomes, again use the supernatant and make them to centrifuge at 80,000 G per 1 hour. It will gives the pellet containing microsomes, fragments of endoplasmic reticulum and small vesicles. Again the supernatant subject to very high speed centrifugation like 1,50,000 G for 3 hours will gives the pellet containing ribosomes, large macromolecules and supernatant containing soluble proteins. So this is a based on different molecular size and different centrifugation we will separate the proteins. So last, so the supernatant containing soluble proteins. So based on that we will separate the proteins. So same thing here. If you draw the diagram, first the homogeneous tissue homogeneous containing all the cell organelles, cell membranes, endoplasmic reticulums and soluble proteins. Then we will centrifugase at the 1000 G per 10 minutes the pellet containing whole cell nuclei and cytoskeleton and plasma membrane. Again we will take the supernatant and centrifuge at 20,000 G per 20 minutes. It will gives the pellet containing mitochondria, lysosomes and peroxisomes. Again when these supernatant we will take and subject it to high speed centrifugation like 80,000 G per 1 hour, then so microsomes and fragments of endoplasmic reticulum, small vesicles are separated out in precipitate. Whereas in again we use the supernatant and subjected to high speed centrifugation, it will gives the separation of soluble proteins in supernatant and pellet containing ribosomes, large macromolecules. So like protein extraction by centrifugation, this is also same like different centrifugation, and the soluble proteins present In centrifugation, we will obtain in different centrifugation. Again, we will use the cell differential centrifugation by using chemical methods. The cells will containing, this is a cell culture which containing cells and proteins of interest. Then we will take those cells which is present in the cell culture and 3 ml of cell wash solution and resuspended and again centrifuge. We will use the discard the supernatant. Then the pellet containing the required proteins. Then use the again 1.5 ml of cell wash solution and resuspended, transfer to the small tube centrifuge. Then we will the vortex by using 0.75 ml of permeabilization buffer and incubated 10 minutes at 4 degrees centigrade with mixing. Again we will centrifuge 15 minutes at 16,000 G at 4 degrees centigrade. Here if we collect the supernatant, we will collect the cytosolic proteins or pellet containing membrane proteins. Again, so these membrane proteins, the in pellet, again we will subject it to 0.5 add 0.5 ml of solubilization buffer. Again resuspended by using vortex. Then incubate for 30 minutes at 4 degrees centigrade with mixing. Again centrifuge 50 minutes at 16,000 G at 4 degrees centigrade. So collect the supernatant, so that containing membrane proteins. So cell lysis and protein extraction. So physical lysis and chemical lysis. In physical lysis, like homogenization pastels using, and also osmotic lysis, use of organic solvents, cycles of freezing and thawing, grinding with sand, alumina or beads or sonicators. These are the physical methods to lysis the cell. Whereas chemical methods, so first initially in this step of protein extraction involves cutting, smashing and sharing tissue into small pieces. So for intracellular protein extraction, detergents are used. So detergent will cause the cell lysis by break the phospholipid membrane of the cell, and also sonication also used for disrupt the membrane. So often proteases inhibitors are added to the mix to prevent the protein loss by enzymatic degradation. So come to the other technique like protein extraction by using affinity chromatography. So protein containing amino acid with different charges in side chain, like so some amino acids like arginine, histidine, lysine containing positive charge in their side chain, whereas aspartic acid, glutamic acid containing negative charge, and phenylalanine, tyrosine, tryptophan, valine isolation containing hydrophobic side chains. So based on these charges on amino acids, the proteins are separated. So these affinities allow proteins to adsorb to column consisting of positive, negative or hydrophobic matrix. So once absorbed to the column of affinity chromatography, then proteins can be washed and eluted as an enriched sample. So based on these affinity properties in affinity chromatographies, they are absorbed and separated out. So more specific method for protein extraction of the centrifugation and affinity columns are isolate protein bulk, whatever we discussed in before. So it extract the protein in bulk content. So for extraction of specific protein, other methods like extraction of IgG antibodies protein, albumin globulin affinity, and specific antibodies or antigen can be isolated by the attaching their corresponding antigen for antibodies and antibody for antigen to isolate to solid surface such as column or bead. So this process is quick and efficient with the use of functionalized super paramagnetic nanoparticles and biomagnetic separations. These are the other specific methods to use separate the specific protein. So come to the next small topic, DNA isolation. So another demo with the competency number BI 11.16 and BI 11.19. So come to the DNA is the basis of life in living forms. So understanding a process of life at the DNA level is a developing field now. So abnormalities of these processes at the level of gene and its function are basis of diseases. And gene therapy is the ultimate goal of all research on DNA. So the extraction of DNA and its estimation is the first step in any investigations on DNA. Hence, it is important to familiar with this basic step like DNA isolation. So come to the aim of DNA isolation. To isolate the DNA from the tissue by phenylchloroform method is helpful to identify point source of community and hospital based outbreaks, gene cloning, also used in forensic science for identification of rapists, accidents, war victims, and paternity determination. So come to the principle of DNA isolation. The cells are lysed using detergent. So in previous we will discussed. So the detergents used to rupture the cell membrane and then digest with help of an enzyme proteinase K. So this proteinase K will digest the other proteins which are not required for these are the proteins which are present which we don't require, and the proteins are then separated from the cell by extracting repeatedly with the phenol and chloroform. So proteins are soluble in phenol chloroform separated out as a interface between phenol and aqueous layer after the centrifugation, while DNA and RNA are contained in the aqueous layer. So RNA is removed by the using RNase treatment and DNA is precipitated out using ethanol and sodium acetate. So what are the reagents required for DNA isolation are TRIS ETA, that buffer, that is TE buffer with pH 8.0. Thus TE buffer containing 10 millimoles TRIS 1 millimole ETA, and DNA lysis buffer containing 3% SDS in 2x TE buffer with pH 8.1. So proteinase K is stock 20 milligrams per ml in 20 millimoles TRIS SCl buffer with pH 7.5. So sodium acetate is 3 molar and saturated phenol in TRIS ETA buffer, and also containing 2 milligrams of 8-hydroxyquinoline in 100 ml of TE buffer, and chloroform isoamyl alcohol, that is CIA, chloroform isoamyl alcohol with 24:1 ratio. So come to the procedure. First we will take a small pinch of tissue from biopsy sample or scraping and mince in mortar and pestle using 0.5 ml of 1x TE buffer and a pinch of sand. So first we will use cell lysis, then add 2 ml of 1x TE buffer and transfer the tissue homogenate to 50 ml Falcon tube, then rinse mortar with further 1.5 ml of TE buffer. Totally 4 ml. Then add lysis buffer in a ratio of 1:2, approximately 50% of total volume of homogenates. The total volume is 4 ml. Then add such volume of proteinase K, so 10 milligrams per ml. That in the final volume of solution proteinase K is 100 micrograms per ml. So after adding proteinase K, we will incubate that homogeneous and proteinase K solution at 37 degrees overnight. Then add equal volume of approximately 6 ml of phenol and mix thoroughly in shaker for 15 minutes. Then centrifuge at 5000 rpm for 10 minutes at 4 degrees centigrade. So take supernatant in fresh tube using Parcher pipettes. Then add in equal volume of phenol and CaA at the ratio of 1:1. Then again shake in shaker for 15 to 30 minutes. Then centrifuge and take the supernatant in a fresh tube and again repeat the equal volume of again add in equal volume of phenol and CaA buffer in 1:1 ratio. Then again centrifuge. Then to the supernatant add in equal volume of CaA buffer. Then shake for 15 minutes and then centrifuge at 5000 rpm for 10 minutes at 4 degrees centigrade. So to the aqueous supernatant add 1/10 volume of chilled 3 molar sodium acetate solution and 2.5 volume of chilled absolute ethanol. So DNA forms a precipitate and can be seen in a small coils that can be spooled out in an Eppendorf tube or pellet by using centrifugation. Then wash the DNA pellet with 70% ethanol and air dry. Then add 100 to 200 microliters of 1x buffer to dissolve the pellet and store the DNA at minus 20 degrees centigrade to minus 70 degrees centigrade till use. Here is a diagram of showing how the basic procedure for DNA isolation. So first we will use the mortar and DNA cell lysis by using pestles. Then we will transfer the test tubes and adding lysis buffer and proteinase K. Then we will transfer and centrifugation and removing of taking the supernatant. Then again using proteinase K to remove the proteins and then so the DNA which is present in the supernatant again by using differential centrifugation and sodium acetate here. Then after that we will collect the DNA which is present in the pellet and stored. Next come to the quantification of DNA. So first make an accurate dilution of DNA in distilled water and mix well. Then fill 3/4 of 3 reference cell of spectrophotometer with the distilled water plus some TCDT buffer and avoid cross contamination and bubble formation in cells. Similarly, fill the sample cell with diluted DNA. So adjust the spectrophotometer sequentially to measure OD at 260 nanometer and 280 nanometer. Then note the OD value and calculate the purity concentration of DNA. So how it is done means it done by taking the OD value equal to the 1.0 of DNA sample of concentration equal to 50 micrograms per ml at 260 nanometer with the path length of 1 centimeter. So hence the DNA concentration of the sample can be calculated by taking the OD value of DNA sample and dilution factor into the consideration. So it is usually expressed in micrograms or nanograms per ml of sample. So first then we will check the purity of the DNA sample by using absorbance at 280 nanometer is due to the proteins and 260 nanometer due to the DNA. So hence the ratio of absorbance at 260 nanometer and absorbance at the 280 nanometer which gives the indication about the purity of DNA sample. The ratio of pure DNA sample is 0.8. So precautions for DNA isolation. So stress should be avoided to prevent the sharing of DNA. So no vortex mixing or vigorous pipping should be done. Next, all glassware, plasticware and reagent must be autoclaved before use to prevent the contamination. And phenol is corrosive, so care should be taken while handling. Thank you. So,